Today, in the present lecture, we will study the classification of partial differential equation. Firstly, we will discuss the different type of classification of partial differential equation as elliptic equation, parabolic equation, and hyperbolic equation. And then after, we will reduce the given partial differential equation into canonical form. Canonical form means we will reduce it into simpler form by changing the independent variables. And then finally, we solve the given partial differential equation. Now we start with the classification of partial differential equation. Here we will consider the second order linear partial differential equation of type RRSS plus TT plus f is a function of x, y, z, p, q equal to 0. Here we can say R, S, T are function of x, y and a function of x, y, and they may be constant. Small r means curly square z by curly x square, means derivative of z, second derivative, partial derivative of z with respect to x. Small s means curly square z, curly x, curly y, and small t means curly square z, curly y square. First of all, we will classify this type of equation. We denote it by equation number 1. For the classification, we confine ourselves on this part. And from this, if we get s square minus 4rt, if this quantity s square minus 4rt, this is greater than 0, then the equation 1 is hyperbolic equation. Second, if this part 4 minus s square minus 4rt, this is equal to 0, then the equation 1 is classified as parabolic. If s square minus 4rt is less than 0, then this equation 1 is classified as elliptic equation. So these three types of classification of a second order linear partial differential equation. We have given an equation and we will find this value. If this value is greater than 0, we will say the given equation is hyperbolic. If it is equal to 0, the equation is parabolic. If it is less than 0, then the equation is elliptic. Now we will discuss how can we reduce the given equation into canonical form. So for this, we use a transformation. That means we have to find some function u which is depending upon x, y, and v is also a function which is depending upon x, y. But we have to choose u and v in such a way that the Jacobian means curly uv, curly x, y. By definition, this is curly u, curly x, curly u, curly y, and curly v, curly x, curly v, curly y. The determinants of this is non-zero. That means we have to choose the function u and v in such a manner that its Jacobian is non-zero. That means u and v should be linearly independent. Now the problem is, how can we choose such u and v so that these two are linearly independent? So for this, we consider the quadratic equation r lambda square s lambda plus t equal to 0. When we this is a polynomial equation is in lambda. When we solve this equation, we will get two values of lambda, and there are three possibilities. First one is the value of lambda is lambda 1 and lambda 2 are real and distinct. When it will happen if s square minus 4rt is greater than 0. That means the discriminant s square minus 4rt is greater than 0, then the values of lambdas are real and distinct. The second possibility is if the value of lambda are equal, real and equal, and this will be possible only if s square minus 4rt equal to 0. That means the discriminant is 0. The third one is the values of lambda may be complex. That means it may be some lambda 1 is alpha plus iota b and lambda 2 is alpha minus iota b. And this is possible only if s square minus 4rt is less than 0. So from this we concluded that if the given partial differential equation is hyperbolic, then we will always get the two values of lambda which are real and distinct. If the given equation is parabolic, then we will always get two values of lambda but both values are equal. And if the roots are complex, and this is possible if s square minus 4rt is less than 0, that means the given linear partial differential equation is of the form elliptic, then the two values of lambda will be complex. Now the problem is how can we find the value of function u and v using this whole concept, that means using this quadratic equation. So if we solve this quadratic equation and we get two values of lambda which are real and distinct, and this is possible in case of hyperbolic equation. Now how to solve a hyperbolic equation, how to reduce the hyperbolic equation into canonical form. After this, if we get two values of lambda, then we will solve two differential equations. The differential equations are dy dx plus lambda equal to 0. Solve this. And dy dx plus lambda 2 equal to 0. The solution of this equation is can be written as fxy equal to some constant c1, and the solution of this equation is this is f1xy and this is f2xy is equal to some constant c2. Now we take u as f1xy and v as f2xy. You can check the Jacobian of u and v is non-zero. That means the obtained u and v are linearly independent. Then using this transformation, u is equal to f1xy and v is equal to f2xy, we will find the step fifth is we will find the value of p, q, r, s and t. I have already told you that r is curly square z curly x square, s is curly square z curly x curly y, t is curly square z curly y square. Now p is curly z by curly x and q is curly z by curly y. Then using these transformation we will find the value of p, q, r, s and t, and then finding this value we will substitute this value in the given equation, and the equation which we obtained after putting this value is the canonical form of the given equation. And then after we solve these canonical forms and we get the solution of the given second order linear partial differential equation. Now we try to understand this concept with the help of an example. First we try to understand the concept of the classification of partial differential equation. We consider an example: curly square z curly x square curly square z curly y square equal to 0. Now we have to classify this equation whether this equation is parabolic, hyperbolic or elliptic. Now if we compare this equation with R S S T T plus F X Y Z P Q equal to 0. Clearly, this small or R is curly square Z curly X square and small t is curly square Z curly Y square. So we get R is, capital R is 1, capital S is 0 and capital T is 1. So S square minus 4RT, it is 0 minus 4 into 1 into 1, this is minus 4 and which is less than 0. So the given equation is the hyperbolic equation. We consider another example. This equation is elliptic equation because the value S square minus 4RT is less than 0. It is hyperbolic if it is greater than 0. It is parabolic if it is equal to 0. But for this equation, the value of S square minus 4RT is less than 0. So this equation is elliptic equation. We consider another example. Y square curly square Z curly X square minus curly square Z curly Y square plus 4Z equal to 0. Now we try to classify this equation. So again compare this equation with R S S T T plus F of X Y Z P Q equal to 0. We get what we will get. Capital R is Y square, S is 0 and capital T is, what is capital T here? This is minus 1. Now what we will get? S square minus 4RT. This is 0 minus 4 into minus 1 into Y square. So this is 4Y square. Now here two possibilities occur. First one is if Y is, this is greater than 0, if Y is greater than 0. Clearly, if Y is greater than 0, then it will be Y square. So 4Y square is greater than 0. And it is also greater than 0 if Y is less than 0. Because if Y is negative, Y square will be positive. So in both the case, Y is greater than 0 or Y is less than 0, the given equation is hyperbolic. Now what will happen if Y is 0? If Y is 0, we will get the value S square minus 4RT is 0. So we can say that in such a situation, the given given equation is parabolic because we will get the value S square minus 4RT is equal to 0. Now we consider an example in which we try to reduce the given partial differential equation into canonical form. Now we consider an example. We take an example. The problem is classify and reduce the given partial differential equation. Partial differential equation is curly square Z curly X square minus X square curly square Z curly Y square equal to 0 to canonical form. First of all, we have to classify this equation and then after we have reduce the given partial differential equation into canonical form. Canonical form you may call it as normal form also. So now compare this with RSSTT plus FXYZ PQ equal to 0. Now we get here capital R is 1, capital S is 0 and capital T is minus X square. So S square minus 4RT what we will get? S square minus 4RT. In such a situation, this is 0 minus 4 into R is 1 and this is minus x square. So this is 4x square. And this is greater than 0 if, when it is greater than 0, if x is greater than 0 or x is less than 0. We will not consider the case when x is equal to 0. Because if x is equal to 0, then the solution of this equation is very simple. We can simplify this equation. We can solve this equation very easily. There is no need to reduce this equation into canonical form if x equal to 0. So we reject this case. We consider here only when x is either greater than 0 or x is less than 0. And in such a situation, the given partial differential equation is gives s square minus 4RT is greater than 0. So this is classified as hyperbolic equation. So this equation is hyperbolic equation. Now the problem is how to reduce this equation into canonical form. So for this, consider the quadratic equation R lambda square S lambda plus T equal to 0. So the value is R is 1, S is 0 and T is minus x square. When we substitute these values in the given quadratic equation, we get this is lambda square. This term will goes to 0 because S is 0 and minus x square is equal to 0. That implies lambda square is equal to x square. And we get lambda is equal to plus minus x. So the value, two values of lambda which are distinct because the given equation is hyperbolic. So we can write lambda 1 as x and lambda 2 is minus x. So let uxy. To obtain uxy, we will solve the differential equation dy dx plus lambda 1 equal to 0 and dy dx plus lambda 2 equal to 0. So that implies dy dx plus x is equal to 0 and dy dx minus x is equal to 0. So what will be the solution of these equations? Firstly we will separate the variables and then we will solve the differential equations. We can rewrite this as dy plus x dx is equal to 0 and this can be written as dy minus x dx is equal to 0. Integrating both sides, what we will get? From this we get this is y and this is with respect to x. When we integrated x square by 2 and this is equal to some constant c1, and from this we get this is y minus x square by 2 and this is equal to some constant c2. So take u as, so using this we take u as here uxy is y plus x square by 2 and vxy is y minus x square by 2. We can easily check that the Jacobian of these two functions u and v is non-zero. So these are linearly independent. So using this, the given equation can be reduced to its canonical form. So in the given equation, if we consider this equation as this is your small r and this is your small t, that means we have to find the value of small r and small t. Now for this, first of all we will find the value of p, and p is nothing but curly z by curly x. And when we transform, z is a function of x and y, and when we transform this function z to u and v, we can rewrite it as curly z by curly u by curly x, curly z by curly v by curly x. In a similar manner, q is curly z by curly y. and it can be written as curly z by curly v by curly x, and curly z by curly u and curly u by curly y, because we are taking the partial derivative with respect to y, and z is depending upon the two variables u and v. So first we differentiate partially z with respect to u, and then we differentiate z partially with respect to v. So this is curly z curly v and curly v curly y. The difference here is this, here that partial derivative is with respect to x, so in denominator this symbol is used curly x, and here the partial derivative is with respect to y, so we take here the partial symbol curly y in both the terms. Now what we need, note this, curly u curly x, curly v curly x, curly u curly y and curly v curly y. So first of all we have to determine these values. Curly u curly x means the derivative of partial derivative of u with respect to x, and it will be y is 0, it will be 2x divided by 2, it will be x, and curly u curly y. When we differentiate u with respect to y, this term will goes to 0 and it will be 1. Now again curly v curly x. When we differentiate it with respect to x, we will get here minus 2x by 2 and 2 cancel, it will be minus x, and curly v curly y is again 1. Now substitute these values here, curly u curly x, curly v curly x. So we will get, this is curly z curly u, and curly u curly x is x, and again curly v curly x, it is also minus x, so we can rewrite it as minus x curly z curly v. Now to find the value of q, we put curly u curly y. Curly u curly y is 1, again curly v curly y is 1, so it can be written as curly z curly u into 1 plus curly z curly v into 1. So we get p is, x can be taken outside because in both the terms x exists, so it can be written as x curly z curly u minus curly z curly v. Again q is curly z curly u plus curly z curly v. Now we will find the value of r and t. So to determine these values, now we can rub these because the value of p and q are written here. We should remember the value u is y plus x square by 2, and value of v is y minus x square by 2. Now what is r? R is partial derivative of p with respect to x, because it can be written as curly square z curly x square. Now partial derivative of p with respect to x, it means curly by curly x of this value, x curly z by curly u minus curly z by curly v. Now if we treat, these are two functions, first one is x and second one is whole this term. So we differentiate partially with respect to x, we can rewrite it as first function as it is, and the partial derivative with respect to x of both the function curly z curly u minus curly z curly v. And then next is differentiate this partially with respect to x and put it as same. So this is curly z curly u curly z curly v, and x partial derivative of x with respect to x is 1. Now we write the value of q here, because we will use this curly z by curly u curly z by curly v. Now we differentiate this expression with respect to x partially. So x is taken as it is. Now it can be written as curly square z, and since z is a function of u and we are differentiating partially with respect to x, so its differentiation can be written as curly square z curly u square and curly u by curly x. differentiate partially with respect to x these terms, we will get curly square z curly u square into curly u by curly x. Again plus curly square z curly v curly u and curly v by curly x. This term is differentiated and the differentiation is this. Now we differentiate this partially with respect to x. It can be written as curly square z curly u curly v curly u by curly x. Here first of all we differentiate partially with respect to u and u with x, again with respect to v and v with x. Similarly for this curly square z we differentiate partially with respect to u and u with x, and again minus curly square z curly v square and curly v upon curly x, and then after it can be written as curly z curly u minus curly z upon curly v. Now the put the value curly u curly x curly v curly x curly u curly x and curly v curly x. Curly u curly x is from this is x, curly v curly x is minus x, and we have to use put this value curly u curly x is x, partial derivative of u with respect to x, and partial derivative of v with respect to x is minus x. Now substituting these values, what we will get? Curly square z curly u square and curly u curly x, what it will be? This is x plus curly square z, this can be written as curly v curly u and curly v curly x is minus x. Again this is minus curly square z curly u curly v and curly u curly x is x. Now the fourth term is minus curly square z curly v square and curly v curly x is minus x. Now after this plus this in terms. So solving this we can rewrite it as the value of r is see, this is curly square z curly v curly u minus x, this is minus x, and this is also minus of x curly square z curly u curly v. So this can be written as x is outside this parenthesis and it can be written as x curly square z curly, what is this, curly u square minus x, this is minus 2x curly square z curly u curly v, and the last term is plus x curly square z curly v square and curly z curly u minus curly z curly v. This is the value of r. You can denote it by equation number A. Now then after we will find the value of t, small t, and the value of small t is, so for this we will use q. Small t is curly square z curly y square and this is curly by curly y q. That means we have to differentiate partially with respect to y. So this is curly by curly y and the expression is curly z curly u plus curly z curly v, and when we differentiate it, it can be written as curly square z, first of all with respect to u curly u square and curly u curly y. The second one is curly square z curly u curly v and curly v upon curly y. Now differentiate the next term. It can be written as curly square z curly v curly u and curly u by curly y, and the last term is curly square z curly v square curly v curly y. Now from this what we will get? Now here if we get differentiated curly u curly y, what it will be? This is 1 and curly v curly y, this is also 1 1 1. So we substitute these values and this expression can be written as curly square z curly u square, this is 1 and this is also 1 1, so it can be written as 2 times curly square z curly u curly v, and the last term is curly square z curly v square. So this is the value of small t. Now when we put the value of small r and t in the given equation, what we will get? See carefully, this is x square curly square z curly u square, and this can be written as minus 2x square curly square z curly u curly v, and this is also x square curly square z curly v square. This is the expression when we put it in the given equation. Curly square z curly x square is r, and r is here x square curly square z curly u square minus 2x square curly square z curly u curly v plus x square curly square z curly v square, and the last term are curly z curly u minus curly z upon curly v. Now again the next term is minus of x square, multiply with x square all these terms, so we can rewrite it as minus x square curly square z curly u square, again minus 2x square curly square z curly u curly v, again minus x square because minus is here, so curly square z curly v square. So when we put these values r and t in the given expression, the given expression can be rewritten as of this form. This is equal to 0. This is the value of r and this is the value of t. So what we will get? These terms cancel because this is positive, this is negative, and these terms cancel. Now what we will get? Minus 2x square, so it can be written as minus 4x square curly square z curly u curly v, and this is equal to, when we add these are minus 2x square minus 4x square, and this can be written as plus curly z by curly u minus curly z by curly v equal to 0. So we can rewrite it as, take this on right hand side, we can rewrite it as 4x square curly square z curly u curly v, and it can be written as curly z curly u minus curly z by curly v. So this is the reduced canonical form of the given equation. So for reducing the given partial differential equation, first of all we have to classify the partial differential equation and check whether the given partial differential equation is hyperbolic, parabolic or elliptic, and accordingly we classify we reduce the given partial differential equation into canonical forms. Now this is the example of when the given partial differential equation is of hyperbolic type. Now the situation is, what will we do? How we will determine the value, the function u and v in such a case when the given equation is parabolic or elliptic. So if the given equation is parabolic, then what will happen? That means s square minus 4rt equal to 0. And I have already told to you कि in such a situation r lambda square plus s lambda plus t equal to 0 has two roots and both of them are equal. So using this root we can find a value of u. How you will determine the value of v? Because both the values lambda 1 and lambda 2 are equal. In such a case we have to choose a v. We can take any v, but it should be taken into mind that this, when we choose the v should be linearly independent with u. That means the Jacobian of u and v should be non-zero. So when we choose v, repeat the same steps and find the value of p, q, r, s and t and substitutes this value in the given equation, and the given equation reduced to its canonical form. So this is the situation when the equation is parabolic. And in case of elliptic equation, you know s square minus 4rt is less than 0. And in such a situation we will get, this is some u is some alpha plus iv beta and v is also some alpha minus I beta. So the given equation reduced into the canonical forms, again repeating the same steps. And instead of, in case of hyperbolic, the equation reduces to the canonical form of type curly square z upon curly u curly v, and this is some function of u v z curly u and curly z curly v. This is the case when the equation is hyperbolic. If the equation is parabolic, it will be curly v square, and this is some v z curly u curly z curly v. And in case of elliptic, the equation can be reduced into curly square z curly alpha square curly square z curly beta square and some function phi 3. This is some alpha beta z. Here you can say this is some u v z curly z by curly alpha curly z by curly beta, because u and v are also depending upon alpha beta. So you can write it as alpha beta z curly alpha curly z curly beta, or you can write it as u and v. So z here is depending upon alpha and beta, and in both the cases hyperbolic and parabolic, the z is depending upon u and v.